How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we've got another review. Today we're going to be reviewing this 2021 Chrysler Pacifica. Now I'm actually reviewing this minivan today because my family and I actually just rented this thing for the weekend. We went from New Jersey, where I'm from, all the way to Green Bay, Wisconsin, and then from Green Bay back to New Jersey. So we put just about 2,000 miles on it. So I know a decent amount of the ins and outs as it is right now. I just got it washed, and honestly, it was a very, very surprising minivan. When we first picked it up from the rental place, I really didn't expect anything much of it. You know, it is a pretty standard minivan. It's not like a crazy luxurious minivan or anything, but it's definitely, again, more luxurious and has a lot more features than I initially thought. And a couple of the things that I really do like, just starting off of like the exterior style, I really like this kind of gray factory paint color. And then moving on to the back, wow, the back is actually really dirty. Again, I did just get it washed, so there is like some water spots on it, so excuse that, because we did drive through like multiple blizzards with this thing, so it was really bad. But I do like the taillight design. It looks really good at night because it has kind of like the LED running taillights, and then the brake lights are also very bright as well. But the thing definitely does look pretty, honestly, like sleek and modern for just a kind of normal domestic minivan. And also, these things start right at about $35,000 US, and this is the touring trim, which is pretty much just the base trim. So honestly, for 35 grand, if you have a family and you want a new, safe, and kind of luxurious minivan, this is probably worth your money. I know some of the more expensive trims can go up into the high 40s, maybe even the 50s, honestly. So I don't know if that's quite worth it for this thing, but yeah, definitely like 35,000 for this base trim is a pretty good deal in my opinion. Now, because this is the base trim, you do just have the 17-inch factory alloy wheels from Chrysler. And then looking at this key, I actually really like this key. It's, again, really cool design, and you have your standard like lock unlock buttons. You could press this twice and it'll open up the hatch for you automatically, which is definitely a feature I like about this car when you're moving things in and out. I really like the automatic hatch. I'm pretty sure it can do the like foot like auto lift as well. And also, again, the hatch does close if you press the same button twice again. Now, this auto start stop is actually a little bit funky sometimes, so I'm going to see if it actually works. But again, I'm just going to try it once, so kind of like an unbiased review of it. But let's see if this works. It should work. And there it goes. So you can, you know, start it if you buy this thing, you know, if you're inside the car, if you're inside your house or something and it's the morning, you want it to warm up. I know a lot of modern vehicles have that, but this thing has it as well. And again, you can shut it off by pressing the same buttons. Also, below that, on both sides, on the driver's side as well as the passenger side, you can automatically open the rear sliding doors, which is another really, really cool feature of this minivan. And just talking a little bit about the space in the back here, this thing does seat 7 people. Right now, we just have kind of the second row up and the back wide open. When we were traveling with it, we actually just had this back seat up and the other back seat down because we had all our stuff plus our 2 dogs in the back, and pretty much everything was very, very comfortably fit. This minivan does have a cargo capacity of 32.3 cubic feet when all the seats are up. And when all the seats are actually down, it does have a maximum cargo capacity of 140.5 cubic feet. And now, popping the hood of this 2021 Chrysler Pacifica, you can see the 3.6 liter double overhead cam, 4-valve per cylinder, and a transversely mounted V6. Now, this is the base trim, so this is a front wheel drive, but the other trims can also be all-wheel drive, and they can also feature a hybrid powertrain with the standard V6 actually being paired with the electric hybrid EVT found in these minivans. Now, the fuel economy numbers for this standard V6 without the hybrid are actually pretty good. So it gets 19 miles per gallon during city driving and 28 miles per gallon during highway driving, for a combined average of 22 miles per gallon. But let me tell you, when we're driving back from Green Bay, in between like Ohio and Indiana, we actually drove through like a whiteout blizzard. And not only did this thing handle pretty well, but we got upwards of like 28.5, 28.7 miles per gallon we were averaging, because again, we were going very, very slow through the snow. Now, one thing that's actually kind of interesting is when I was researching the other trims and specs for this minivan, it actually turns out that the hybrid trims actually get a little bit less gas mileage, or miles per gallon I should say, and that I just found that a little bit weird. So if anyone is more informed on that, let me know down in the comments below, because again, I just find that really, really weird. But anyways, moving on to this minivan's powertrain, the standard 3.6 liter V8 does make a max power of 287 brake horsepower at 6,400 RPMs and 262 foot-pounds of torque at 4,000 RPMs. So with that and the curb weight of just over 4,500 pounds, right at 4,521 pounds, this thing is definitely not fast at all, but it does have a 9-speed automatic transmission, so it's great for, you know, highway cruising. And if you have a family, again, with the cargo space, it offers a very comfortable and easy drive for sure. Now, moving on to the interior of this 2021 Chrysler Pacifica, again, like I stated before, it does have a lot of cargo capacity, as well as it does seat a maximum of 7 people. Now, just sitting in the driver's seat, I really do like the design of the tach as well as the speedometer. I really like the blue lights. It definitely looks very modern in here. One thing that I do want to say, just turning this on, I really don't like this infotainment system. It is touchscreen, but for some reason, like, this touchscreen is just, it's a little bit delayed at times, and it's very, very small compared to other modern SUVs and modern minivans. Now, obviously, as you can see, you know, the no smoking stickers, again, this thing is rented, so obviously, you know, don't think that it just has that on the dashboard for no reason at all. But another thing that I really don't like is the shifter. There was actually a time when I was driving, and this was the first day when we were driving out to Green Bay, and we had the radio playing, and I went to turn the radio down, and I guess instinctively I just went for this knob, and it was in drive just like this, and I just turned it a little bit and I put it in neutral, and then I kept going on the highway, probably about like 500, 1,000 feet, until I actually realized that it was in neutral and the car was just, you know, slowly slowing down. So that's definitely one thing that I would look for if you're not used to this vehicle. Now, again, if you own it, if you're used to it, it's almost second nature. But I do really like these front kind of captain seats. I like how, you know, the armrest comes down. I know it's a little bit old school, but still it is very nice to have that option. Now, in the center here, you could tell that this kind of got a little dirty with all the crap that we had in here over the course of traveling, but this is actually a rubber insert, so if you ever want to clean this, just pop this out, and underneath it's all clean. As well as right here, these cup holders too are also rubber inserts. I'm not going to take them out because they're a little bit more tighter than the other one, but you guys get the point. You also do have more storage space right down here for, you know, license, insurance, registration, anything like that. And you also have this plug, which is, I believe, compatible with the Apple CarPlay, and then of course an aux port. Now, another cool thing sliding out right back here is 2 extra cup holders for, you know, the people in the back seats, or, you know, if you're picking up food for someone, you can actually use that too, which is, again, a very, very convenient location for these. Now, also looking up on the second row seating, on both sides you have this kind of control panel for the air conditioning, which is great because when you want the air conditioning off back there, you can actually have it off even though it's, you know, going, you know, full blast up in the front here. So now, without further ado, guys, I'm going to take this thing for a drive and tell you guys what I like most about this new Chrysler Pacifica. All right, guys, so now driving this 2021 Chrysler Pacifica, the first thing that I really enjoy about driving this minivan is the actual steering wheel. I just think it feels really good in your hands. It's a little bit like thicker, I guess, compared to other, you know, SUV or minivan steering wheels, but it's very nice. It's leather. Also, I don't know if I mentioned it, but the steering wheel as well as the 2 front seats are heated as well, which is great. You know, if you're in the middle of the winter like it is right now in January and you don't want to be freezing your ass off in this thing. Also, one thing that I don't really like about this minivan is the auto start stop. But I do like the fact that you can actually turn it off right in the center by, you know, pressing the auto start stop off button. You can also turn parking assist off and on, as well as traction control, which is another pretty cool feature that they actually still have it as a button right there. Again, I know it's old school, but with so many SUVs and minivans nowadays moving to a singular touchscreen that just controls everything, it's a little bit refreshing to actually have some of those just buttons right there and available for you without having to swipe through different options or screen modes. Now, one thing that I actually don't really like about this minivan and driving this minivan is the cruise control. I didn't really use it much because the first couple times that I used it on our trip to Green Bay and back, it acted a little bit weird once you actually turned it off. It almost kind of like delayed a little bit and then went on the brakes. It didn't just cruise, which might be an issue with this Pacifica individually, or it's just an issue with these new Pacificas in general. But that's definitely something that I would look for if either you have one of these year Pacificas or you're looking to get one and you're available to test drive one, just because it felt a little bit off and a little bit weird. And I know it's specific and it really doesn't matter that much, but again, it's just something else to kind of mention to you guys in this review. But as far as actual handling goes and cornering, this thing handles fine. I mean, it's 200 something horsepower, weighs around 4,500 pounds. I mean, it handles how you'd expect it to handle. Not really fast, a little bit slow, a lot of body roll, but it is, as a minivan and a cruising vehicle, it definitely is pretty comfortable. The looser suspension is nice on longer trips. And if you guys have been subscribed to my channel, you guys know that I pretty much review any and all types of vehicles, whether it's a completely custom build, a more performance oriented vehicle, maybe a couple supercars, or just kind of normal everyday family vehicles such as this Pacifica. Now, one thing that I kind of don't really like about reviewing these vehicles is that they're, I guess, considered more boring compared to the other vehicles. But I mean, still, it's a lot of fun seeing actually where technology has gotten, and this is definitely not the most tech savvy vehicle even on the market today, and it's actually kind of far from it when you compare it to some of the new Volvos that I've reviewed, as well as Tesla's lineup and a bunch of other manufacturers, honestly. But still, for $35,000, I honestly, wouldn't mind buying something like this. Obviously, I'd rather have for me personally, I'd rather be seen driving around in an SUV compared to a minivan. But if you have a larger family and you need the extra seating with the extra cargo space, this should be, one of those options that you highly consider getting for your family. And by no means am I a spokesman for Chrysler or anything. My mom's old Chrysler, 2001 Chrysler Sebring, we had a lot of issues with trying to keep it reliable. So I don't know how these Pacificas might hold up when you put 50,000, 100,000, 150, 200,000 miles on them, if they'll even make it that far. But needless to say, I definitely do know that reliability has, not necessarily been Chrysler's strong suit in some of their, more modern vehicles. But anyways, guys, overall, I really do enjoy this Pacifica. I really enjoyed the, weekend that we had with this Pacifica. It was great. It never really let us down. Got us through, again, multiple snowstorms and blizzards, which is awesome. But like always, if I missed anything, let me know down in the comments below. Let me know if you guys hate or love these new Pacificas. And of course, thank you for all the support, and I'll see you guys in the next one.